Today there is news from the universe of gamers, and unfortunately, not the best for all those who hold Nintendo shares. As always, this is not investment advice, but rather a presentation of interesting stocks and economic news that we personally believe have a certain potential. Do you hold shares in Nintendo? Then you will hardly like the latest sales figures for the Nintendo Switch. This is because they fell by almost 50% in the past quarter. This in turn has resulted in a slump in sales and profits for the Japanese company. As the sales figures for the aging Switch console have fallen drastically, Nintendo has had to report a slump in sales and profits. In the first quarter, only 2.1 million units of the flagship console, after all, it is Nintendo's second most successful console, were sold, which corresponds to a year-on-year decline of 46%, as the Japanese company announced. As a result, Nintendo's turnover fell by over 55%, year-on-year to 246.6 billion Japanese yen, $165 billion, and profits also fell by an impressive 46.5% to 80.9 billion yen between April and June. The negative trend thus continues. In the previous financial year, the Japanese games manufacturer had already sold only half as many units of the popular console, at around 15.7 million. At 7 years old, Nintendo's second most successful console after the Nintendo DS is now an outdated console in terms of sales figures. Nevertheless, the console released in 2017 could still catch up with the best-selling console of all time, the PlayStation 2 from Sony. The latter is still in first place with 155 units sold, but with 140 units sold so far, the Switch is still within striking distance. After all, Nintendo is forecasting sales of around 13.5 million consoles for the Switch between March 2024 and March 2025. Nevertheless, there is a certain amount of excitement for all investors, as Nintendo had announced the launch of a new console for the current financial year. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel and you'll always have a big plus in your portfolio.